Hello and welcome to our today's after church tea time. Merry Christmas to you all. And today we speak about a wonderful sermon about Jesus and God and our relationship with God. Shaleia invited us to join her sermon about God is faithful to us. And I love the sermon, and I would like to open the room already for all of you to share your insights and what you loved about the sermon from Shaleia.
Yeah, Paco, thanks for this beautiful opening and invitation. Merry Christmas to everyone. Yeah, I loved the sermon a lot. It's bringing home the whole feeling of Christmas, but I felt like this year was like very internalized. And, I loved how she drew parallel on our ascension journey and how Jesus's birth is. And if you look at it from the inside, his birth is the calling for our birth of our Christhood and our ascension. Like it can look very different. It can be in not in a hospital, like in not in a very typical way, like how Jesus was born, a very sacred. And those who know, those who may not know. You may have opposition, you may have people who love you and adore you, but he kept walking his ascension and just truthfully and faithfully to God. I felt that parallel was like really beautiful, like giving us that light, that reminding ourselves like we can allow ourselves to be protected and loved and cared in God while we walk our ascension journey. It may look different. So yeah, that's what I felt. Amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, I would just like to share that the phrase what she in the sermon what she mentioned that she called it parable. So it's like even if 99 are lost, God will always search one who is out of the flock, so he would never let anyone as gone astray. It's like he would never lead someone in a wrong direction. So that's the faith what we have to keep on building with God. And that's the faith what is within us also, that we have to keep growing, that God is never going to lead us anywhere wrong. He is just taking us to the divine path. All we have to do is just follow him and just take the guidance, because that guidance is always within us. So keep moving, and he's not never going to abandon you. He's never going to leave you anywhere. He's loving you all the way, even if you have forgotten him. He's not the one who has forgotten you ever. So that's something which I really loved about the sermon. And there were many things, of course, like keeping our faith in God, keeping also, that is called, again, that's the loyalty, that's the confidence what you keep on God. So yeah, that was really loving. And sorry. Yeah.
The cat loved it.
She also agrees.
Yeah. So that was my way of understanding the sermon. It was really healing. And today I was watching, for a change, I was watching The Chosen. And there, when I was, because there are new episodes come in Chosen, and there was when God said, when Jesus said that you really do not have to even ask God that you need water. He's going to place that to you before even you know it. That's in your heart, and God knows it. So even if you feel that you are at lack of food or water, God's going to provide you that. You don't even have to ask him. It's just like he knows the child, and he knows what's there in the heart. So that's it. That's the faith, and that's the way, yeah, we have to keep walking. Yeah.
So I'll go next. And I know for me, it was just like, it was a very emotional for me today. I was like crying. Like Shaleia is just like so compassionate in the way she speaks. And it really touched me today. I just wanted to like, just need a minute. Anybody wants to go, I'll come back.
It's okay. Totally fine. Her words were wonderful. She spoke directly to our hearts. She just showed us how much God loves us. And it's okay that we are here a little emotional and just let go what feels not good in this time of the year where it's an emotional time. It's about coming together with the people you love, with your family, also with your twin flame, with your children, with your mother, with your father. And there is in all of them is God, in all the people you love, in your family, in your spiritual family here is God. And God showed you through Shaleia how much He loves us. That, like Sakina said, even you don't know you are thirsty, I already prepared the water for you. And He knows us so good. He knows us so well. And Shaleia was showing us so with her words, God through her was showing us, my child, I love you. You do not need to get high anymore. I'm here with you. You can ground and relax into my presence, and I will love you always. And there is okay to have tears. I was crying the last days too. I had to go
yesterday, for God's sake.
I was crying yesterday. Well, we had this ceremony in Austria. Every day we open a door and there's a new wonderful picture here in the city. And every time I went there, I had to cry in front of all these people because God spoke to me directly into my heart. And it felt good to let go of this tear of sadness.
Yeah, and to be reminded of that promise that God made to us. Like I had this, like that cry river yesterday. It was the last day of what we call here the Advent calendar, like this calendar where it's kind of like the 24 days countdown before Christmas. And when they opened the window, like God immediately communicated through the picture, like this is the promise of heaven on earth. And I started weeping left and right. And the funny thing is, well, not funny, the interesting thing is that at the end of the kind of like ceremony, so to speak, they invited us all to sing Silent Night. I don't know if that's the right name of the song. Silent Night. I only know a little bit of it in Spanish. So while everyone was singing it in German, I was singing whatever I knew in Spanish, and I started crying nonstop.
That is
it's exactly like the unionism. Everyone comes together at the core. It's about love and God.
Yeah,
it felt.
Exactly. And as I was listening to, because that I would like to give Lydia maybe kind of like a moment to kind of like integrate it and just relax, chillax.
Right. What got me what I'm so upset is just like I've just been focusing so much on giving power to the bad feeling and completely forgetting how like God is always there. So this was just a reminder that like, you know, it's time to let that go and it's time to embrace God and my power and my strength and like, you know, how it's perfectly demonstrated to us through like our gurus and all the masters. And it just like touched me differently to like, it awakened me into knowing how much like God is really with me. And more than ever before, especially on Christmas. So I'm just like, you know, that's why I was like extra emotional today, but like I'm good now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but no, you're welcome. But Shaleia was actually mentioning that in like her sermon, like she was mentioning how the time in which Jesus was born was kind of like a very dark hour, so to speak, for humanity. And he sent Jesus to wake us up. And I was sharing with this with Avir before hopping on the after church, but I got curious. Like I've been reading about Jesus as a rabbi, and so I was like, what is the Hebraic meaning to the word rabbi? Because I never really looked it up, to be honest. It is a spiritual teacher, and like Avir can share about it or not, or whatever she feels guided. But I felt it very interesting to see that this is the meaning of the word. And here we are talking about our gurus, Chef and Shaleia, who are also sent at a very special moment in humanity's history, where we are not really having a fun time. And here they are. And Soraya was also like very well describing how unexpected Jesus was in his way of teaching, his way of approaching the message. And Chef and Shaleia are, in a sense, the same. They are very unexpected, but that's the way to wake us up. We've been asleep for so long that we need a way of like a little shaken up. And I found that very cool, and that's one of the main things that I took on from Soraya's sermon. I feel like that's wonderful, that we get to see how much God loves us, that He doesn't forget. It's like, okay, you've fallen asleep again. I'm gonna send you someone. You remind yourself again who you are. You wake up.
That's so beautiful. I felt called to really draw that parallel that you're drawing, Deb, about our gurus and Jesus, where they are like Jesus was a result of our calling to God, and God loves us so much, and he sent his son. It's like that, and same with our gurus. It feels like we call them in, they remind us again and again, hey, you're the one who called us, and we are here. How much God loves us is what we have to wake up to. That's the waking up to, like how much He loves us. It's deep.
Yeah, for me, it definitely touched me, because I know that I've been through like some really dark times, and I just really didn't like understand my relationship with God. And then in this community, like I've healed that. I've healed the core of that, knowing that like God is always with me. And so today I'm just like, it's really like God is like so loving, especially through our gurus. Like I know in TFAS, like it's like the most beautiful, compassionate, coolest way to like connect with God and invite God in your life. And like for me, it's just like my always go-to, so it's just so beautiful how this time around, like God coming through our gurus is a very, very easy, compassionate, loving way, like very fun. And you can do all the fun things and still be with God. So yeah, the Soraya is just summed everything up on this sermon about how like everything is like connected, and how we're finally where we need to be, and we can continue on this journey, and it's safe, and it's fun, and healing is fun, and being with God is fun, and then we have each other. Yeah.
Yeah, rightly said, because even I had this, like, I never even knew how to express my love for God. So I never knew, like, before joining this community, although I've been and brought up in this always that, how do you really be with God, but then never took that as a learning, that how can you connect to God. But then after coming to this journey and after coming to this community, you actually can know that God is not like, somewhere you have this, I always had this impression of God, that no, God is very strict and God is going to be like punishing God and all that, so, but after coming here, it's like, no, God is just like a friend, God is just like your father, God is just like your mother. So it's like, so it's such a compassion relationship you can build with God, that like it's unbelievable. So it's like you really can connect, how to connect now. So I, being in this, coming after coming in this journey, it's been a lot of changes within me, that I know how to connect to God. Otherwise I never knew how to ask Him. Like I didn't even know how to ask Him, because I used to feel, no, I don't want to ask Him, I can't ask Him. So it's like at least I know now that, okay, I can communicate with him. He knows it. Even if I don't communicate, he will know it. And that's the thing what I've been learning. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing to learn on this journey, that how you can build that relationship with God, and you go beyond your limits. There are no limits to how you can create God in your being, and how you, like, yeah, that's the kind of expression I have right now. So it's like, it's beyond words that you don't even can sometimes express, because sometimes the lack of expression I have, but it's like, really I feel that, okay, now God is there to take care of that, at least.
I guess I'm saying, like, to the title itself of like God being faithful. I mean, this just really for me like gave me the confirmation that it's safe for me to trust, you know, even in the past when I've been like betrayed, or through people that I gave a lot of power to, or my safety, or everything about my life, about my happiness. So I choose to let all that go and trust now that, you know, I really ground this, like God is my source, and I really have faith that God is faithful, you know, that no matter what, we're going to overcome that obstacle, because, you know, now we know who stands with us and besides us, and it's God. So it's like, it's wonderful news. Yeah.
Yes, what I loved about the sermon too is that Shaleia showed us God sent now the teaching through Jeff and Shaleia, our gurus, and now we can look these places, they are dark, and we always can bring light here. And this is safe to do so. Like Lydia shared right now, she can trust. We can trust now. We can build this relationship with God like Jesus already showed us. And now God loves us so much that he sent us the teaching. When I think on my life before the teaching and now, and how wonderful Christmas is. Even before I was living with Deborah, my twin flame, I was already celebrating Christmas alone, and felt so good because I had this relationship in my heart to what I love most, God. And it was not important for me anymore how the outside looks. It was just this love inside my heart. And Shaleia showed us today again, even there is something that feels not good, you can heal through it. That is your Ascension. And like Brienne also said, sometimes there's a block and you don't see it. What is your way? Kind of the fog, but you will go through. And this is where we can trust and where God is faithful to us. I give you everything you need, my loving children, that you can come closer to me.
Yeah, that kind of like I was reminded through the sermon too, and Abir has touched upon that already at the beginning. It's I feel like it was a sermon from Joel Osteen also, that he was explaining like there was this accident at some bridge at that, and how actually God, before the problem appeared, the solution was already there. You kind of like just had to work through the process of allowing that solution to come to you. And this is like what Jeff and Shaleia pretty much talk about through all of Twin Flame Ascension School and Life Purpose class and all their body of work is not only like, of course, like loving yourself, but it's mostly just losing the resistance to receiving God. Like Abir said, like we had this calling, and over again, like we had Buddha, we had Muhammad, we had so many, like from I don't want to mispronounce something. I'm not very familiar with the Hinduism tradition, but also ascended masters from this branch. I don't know, it's like, and then Jesus, and then like Shaleia. We have people to show us the way. Like we called for that it would be a little bit silly to go like, hey, Abir, call me, and then I don't pick up. But yo, like you asked me to call you. What the flips? I was like, what is this? And yeah, kind of like just honoring that this is the answer to our call, and take it in whatever measure we can, of course.
Yeah. And
actually, okay, go ahead. It's like I was not sure a story actually that happened today that was like related to like having faith in God and how much I've really grown on that. But I can share that story afterwards, so you can go ahead, Abir.
I got into you sharing your story.
Oh my gosh, no, it's actually like a really cool story because I decided to spend like Christmas Eve with like part of my family because I have a little niece in the family and she's just so cute and she's such a blessing, and I got her a little gift, so I drove over to drop it off. And today I mean, I had to like moderate the church, so suddenly, like, I don't know what happened last night, like the internet in my apartment is just like was like not working, my password, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, you know, I've definitely like internet and everything is like running smoothly, and it was just like this whole thing, so I just let it go. And I woke up this morning, it was still like not working, and here I am like Christmas Day, I'm like, I'm going to make breakfast and be with God today, and you know, be at the church, and my internet is still not working. And I just realized, like, I went back to the work and I did my inner work, and I literally like I chose to like connect with myself, to connect with God here, because I'm like there's no reason for the internet to not be working. It was just like a block that I felt on like Christmas morning, and just healing you know, Christmas for me and my relationship with God. And lo and behold, 10 minutes later, I'm like, I'm turning on the TV and I'm like, I bet you my TV is not gonna work either. Suddenly the TV is working. And then I went on my phone and the internet is back on, and literally like my computer, and it was just like I was jumping up and down and realizing how like it literally seemed impossible. Like, it's Christmas Day, I cannot call customer service, nothing is open, there's no way I can, like, I have to like literally like leave and go find internet on Christmas Day, and I didn't want to be anywhere else but my own home with God. So literally God came through, and I was like, what a celebration. Like, it was literally like a Christmas miracle, because it literally seemed like some way, somehow my system had updated itself, and I needed to also update the password, and today was not the day because nothing is open, you know? So here I am, like I was able, and I desired to like, literally as I was talking, as I was listening to the sermon, I truly desired to like speak and to like share like how I felt, even though I was in tears the whole time. And like here I had this opportunity, and I didn't even know I was going live. So everything just like came together. And for once, so not Lydia, I just surrendered everything. And like here I am. So like it just proves to me like I've really healed my relationship with God like big time, and totally like surrendering, no matter how impossible it looks. So it's like really cool today. And like here I am with internet, I'm able to like share you know, my thoughts and everything, and it's just like such a blessing.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to share as well. Like, God listens. Like, you think that God is so far away, I need to make 20 phone calls for God. God is listening. And like, you know, this story that Sakina was also sharing, like, you don't even have to tell God that I need a glass of water. I like, and consciously, how aware were we to call our gurus? Did we actually know that who we were calling? But our soul was yearning for it. Like, I know when it happened, when I was like, okay, when I joined the community, when I knew that about it, yeah, I knew that connect happened. It was like, of course, it was my soul's calling. But it's such a deep, intimate, and a subtle connection that we never have to put words on it. Like, God's right here. He's listening. So yeah, it's amazing to see how fast he works. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, going back to the sermon with Soraya, I mean, it was just so beautiful. She also shared how like here around right now, well, I mean the masters and Jeff and Shaleia being here right now, and how much they've loved us and how much they've been here for us. Like I can honestly say, like I've experienced that, like as a TFAS student from the very beginning. I've like experienced that, like literally like personal relationship with them, where even through my darkest of times, like they were there for me, and I'm just like, oh my God, like God really does love me. And now like the most is how I needed it, like a personal relationship with a guru, you know? So it's like I just think back and I'm just like so grateful for everything, and just, you know, letting go of the stupid stuff and just like really choosing to like appreciate what we have now. Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me also the movies we were watching on Christmas since yesterday, Santa Claus. And there it's all about magic, because the children believe in magic, and so Santa Claus is here. And it's this magic that we believe, that we have faith in our journey with God. And like this energy we felt today, this was so speaking to our heart in the sermon. This is the magic, being with God, where you feel so loved, not because you are a nice little child and you are brave and always doing what you have to do. No, because you are loved unconditionally, because you just are. And as we let go of the resistance Deborah was sharing, we are healing it layer by layer and letting go of the fog, like Brian said, or the block is in front of us, and just receiving all this love that God has always for us. And I on my end, I sometimes, when I'm so triggered, also when I'm in the community, in my spiritual family, there are triggers now and then. When I feel through this fear, there is a dark place. When I get triggered somewhere, there's a dark place inside of me. And the moment I let go of looking there, and I just feel safe in going there, as I am best prepared to. Like Soyara said, it's our ascension journey is not just the rainbow and the
unicorns, yes, Brianna and Brian were saying.
It's a part of it, but we have to look at these dark places. And when I go through, then I feel so loved, and receiving the divine truth feels so good, and in truth so relaxing, where I can kind of, okay. And then I feel like, oh, then I have this Christmas feeling through.
That's true. The last few weeks I was healing it. I had the same feeling, you know, like felt like
sometimes
Christmas.
You said to me, I feel like Christmas today, and okay.
Yeah. I had forgotten about that. That's true.
This is magic of Christmas, where God shows us, I love you always, like that.
Yeah, it's not just on Christmas, it's every day. So it's just, we'd always, I feel like on Christmas it would be like extra, you know, we would like really know that day, no matter what, we're gonna be loved. Like we're gonna get our gifts, and we're gonna, you know, be with the family, and we're not gonna focus on work and other things. But we need to know that God is with us at all times, every single day, even at work.
Yeah, that's something that I was kind of like picking up yesterday when we were opening the presents too. Like at least for us, it's been a lot of like inner child healing, and so the last two Christmases, but pretty much the presents has been some sort of toy. And God was kind of like showing me that that's pretty much like about it. You're still a child, and God, like, even like the image of Santa that we have, it resembles a lot like what a lot of us grew up believing that God looks like. Like this old chubby cool guy, very warm, very cozy. And he gives you like presents, and he gives you really, this is also shown in one of the, I think it's the second one of the Santa Claus movies, where he meets like this woman, and they are talking about their childhood and like how she grew up, and they go to all the way to this teachers meeting at school for the festivity, and like how they bond through their inner children when they all start receiving like their favorite gift from childhood. It's like, and that's how we are supposed to feel too, like little children getting like that amazing toy and feeling like so giddy and like very cool. I love it. I think this is kind of like, it's not that I celebrated a lot of Christmas, to be honest. Like growing up in a Jewish family, you don't really celebrate Christmas, but being the second one, I feel like it's getting better with every passing year. It's like, this one was the best out of the two that we had. And it felt really
like
cool
life with
and
God
very
is
cozy.
better and better.
Yeah, and that's
You
the idea.
always know in
That's
your
the idea with
heart.
the Ascension, is that it gets better.
Yeah.
You always knew in your heart the spirit of Christmas, and now your twin flame is, you know, bringing that to you. So what a gift.
So I grew up like desiring to put up a Christmas tree and have like the Christmas decorations at home and opening the gifts and all that. Like I couldn't even like bargain to have 9 presents for Hanukkah, for Christ's sake. So I was like, kind of like, Christmas, okay, I don't care.
It's
really
so
good.
funny. Well, congratulations for having your Christmas.
I've always loved Christmas from the childhood. Like even in the schools also, I used to be in the choir singing and everything, you know, singing the hymns, and also I used to love that. And growing and studying in a convent schools, it was like always like, you know, I loved celebrating Christmas. I used to put up tree, crib, and everything in my house. So it used to be so fun. So it's a very blissful, it's the most blissful festival, or it's the most blissful energy what I feel Christmas is. Like there is, I think the most what I feel loved is Christmas time. It's like, I don't know, it's loving, it's just loving. And that's my dream, like someday I'll be in Snowland on the Christmas day. I love
That
that.
will happen for you. Call that in.
Yes.
Nice. Feels good. Mhm.
Well, the promise of dreams is that they come true.
Yes.
So why did Christmas?
Yeah, I remember what I wanted to say, because I was kind of like picking this up yesterday too, when we were in this event. Like this time of the year, like the birth of Jesus is also like not only God saying, I haven't forgotten you, like I'm sending in help. It kind of like gives us the chance to renew that choice of peace. Because I was kind of like looking around at the people, I was kind of like getting the feeling for it. And the truth is that most of us, what we desire is to live peace. It's just to have peace. And again, doesn't mean like it's going to be a better process. We're going to have our challenges, like Shaleia was talking about in her sermon, and Anna and Brian were also mentioning. But still, like, that you can find that peace at the other side. And this is also something that Chef and Shaleia speak about a lot in their classes too. So.
Yeah, like Roxanne shared in the card reading, even you go through challenges or God tests you, that you always choose love. Do you choose love in this place? Do you choose love in this place? And do you choose love in this place too? And in the other place too?
Yeah, especially in the most difficult time, like in the darkest of hours, like it's what Shaleia was talking about, like your faith gets tested. And then you still find out that God never left.
And do you choose love there too?
Yeah, you always have to, otherwise it's no. You're gonna go back to the same hellhole that brought you here, so your mind just as well keep going. That's been my policy so far and has worked. So.
Yeah, for me, it's been a journey. Go ahead. We're like sharing now. We are really warmed up.
Yeah, I also feel like God will bring you to the darkest place because you're kind of the light for that dark place. It's not necessary that it's yours. you're one child of God. So you're being called to go there because you've built that light to go to that darkest place as well. So understand that you've built that momentum, and know that God brought you this challenge because you were ready for it. Like, look at the challenge, like, wow, like, whoa, we're like, I don't think I can do that. But but think of all the challenges that you've been going through your life, and now you're like, a mirror exercise is like, I know I can do it. It's like you're building that light and that momentum, knowing that if it's really dark this time, I'm like, oh, this was really dark. But that was because we were prepared for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like bring on the challenge, bring on the challenge.
Yeah, but it's just like reminding yourself that's the place where you haven't invited God yet. And I remember having seen, this was a specific class. It was I don't remember, a Wednesday, 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. 14, one of the very first ones. And Jeff and Shaleia were talking pretty much about this. It was just like, this is the place where you haven't invited God yet. And of course, it's like, if you walk into a dark room, it's like, I don't see shit here. Well, but that's the whole point. It's like, oh, okay, you just match a light or whatever. And okay, so that's where there was.
Yeah, that's a part of the plan. Again, when you see to it that it's a plan of God, that okay, now He is going to show you the light, and you are the light. So that's a part of His plan, and walk it that way. So I think it's all about, again, getting into that place of surrender, that whatever He's giving us is the plan, and we can grow from there.
Pretty much what I wanted to share before was back in New York when we all met. It was like New Year's. Jeff and Shaleia signed my book, and it literally said, only love is real and love never fails. So this goes back a few years, and I received that message, and I'm like, that feels good, but like I still like, I'm just like, okay, that I choose to believe that. I choose to trust that that's real. But now it's been a few years in, and I'm really healing day by day my relationship with God, and the message that was given to me, like I'm really learning to truly believe that. Because before, to me, it was just like a sentence, like, okay, I'm gonna explore this, like this I need to know. So I feel like I'm getting like a big breakthrough in really knowing that it is real, and I can trust in anything and that comes up, that I can overcome that, because it's not real and it's not my truth. And the second I bring love to it and my truth, that thing just goes away.
Like it says in the beginning of A Course in Miracles. Just nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God.
Yes.
Yeah.
How's everybody feeling?
Do you feel complete?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I feel complete too. It was really a wonderful after church tea time with you all. Abir, Sakina, Lydia, thank you very much. Deborah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And also thank you for watching and participating the after church tea time. I really appreciate all your insights and your experiences you made on your journey already. Thank you for sharing with us, and I wish you all further wonderful Christmas days and a wonderful time with your loved ones. Bye.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.